My personal Bitcoin exit strategy. Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and today I'm going to share with you my own exit strategy out of Bitcoin. Plus, you want to make sure you stay to the very end because I'm going to show you how I'm going to take my Bitcoin and buy real estate without using banks. In other words, buy properties by just taking over seller's existing mortgage. Okay, so let's dive in without any further delay. So once I start cashing out of my Bitcoin, what am I going to do with it? Okay. The very first thing I'm going to do with it is I am going to buy investments, what I call varsity coins. Varsity coins are coins that are mid cap. A great example of a varsity coin that I will get into and already have is Ethereum. Okay. Another example is Bitcoin Cash. Okay. And another example is uh, Litecoin. Okay. So once I start taking profits of my Bitcoin, which I've already have, what I did is I reinvested these properties into some of the profits into what I call varsity coins. Okay. And once these varsity coins starts mooning, like for example, Ethereum hit its all-time high or close to it, okay, maybe $100 less, then what I do is I'll take the profits, some of the profits, and invest it into what I call JV coins. Okay. Now, what are JV coins? Well, JV coins are coins that have ultra low market capital. Okay. For example, some of the JV coins that I personally own is Uniswap. Okay, I own some Ava. I own Synthetics, and these are all DeFi coins. I own, for example, Neo. All right, and I can go on because I own a lot of different coins throughout this varsity or what I call JV rankings. Now, to simply put, once I start taking profits from Bitcoin, the very first thing I'm going to do is take my profits and put it in fiat, right? Once that happens, this is my number one, because I want to take my money out as soon as possible in some profits. Not only my money, but some profits as well, okay? Because I did take a risk. I need to get the biscuit, okay, to get the reward. So that's number one thing that I have done. And then the remaining of the profits from my Bitcoin, what I did is I bought varsity coins, or I was doing it as I was taking profits in my Bitcoin, not just recently, but through time. And I bought more varsity coins, okay? And then when the varsity coins like Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin went up in price, because like Litecoin, for example, was like $40 or something, and it went to like $170. So I took profits, right? Instead of some of this profit will again went into my fiat banking account, and I'll talk to that why I had to take some of the fiat out. But the remaining went into JV coins because now I'm going to be taking more of a risk. The further down that I go here, the more risk I have, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing, and I'm giving you my thought process of how I am taking risks with my own money. You should always do your own due diligence. Don't listen to a YouTuber like me. This is what I'm doing, okay? And I'm willing to lose all my money because cryptocurrencies are very risky. All right, so now that I put the disclaimer out there, after buying the Bitcoin, I'm going to take profits in fiat, invest the remaining of the profits in varsity coins, and then from varsity coins, I'm going to invest my profits into JV coins. And now here's where it gets really, really good, okay? Because now I am going to take the profits of the JV coins and the profits that I have in fiat that I have collected from all these times that I've reinvested my money. Some of it parked it in fiat, and the remaining I took a risk with it to get more profits. Now I'll have two bags. One bag is here, and the other bag is here, and I'm going to now what I call my exit into the real world. because all this stuff over here was digitalized. Okay, this is like zeros and ones. Okay, but I'm going to take these zeros and ones, my profits, and now take them into the real world. And here's where it gets really interesting, because now, for example, I invested, money to Chainlink, and I bought one coin for right around 10 cents, and I sold it when it was like 13.80. So now I'm going to take some of those profits, right, if not all of majority of the profits, and buy real estate. Okay, and here's the coolest thing: not any kind of real estate, but buy real estate subject to, which means that I'm buying the real estate by just taking over the seller's existing mortgage, because a lot of sellers have mortgages and millions of people have lost their jobs and so on and so on. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, and hopefully, as things go as planned, that the real estate market will be in a major tank by this time. Okay, and just like as I predicted it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is buy gold and silver. I'm not a real big fan of silver, but if the price is very nice, I may get it, but most likely I'm just going to stick with gold. Okay? That's the second thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my profits from a very dangerous market like cryptocurrencies. When I say dangerous, I don't, because it's very volatile, but I love it because it gives me high profits and high risk, and I don't never sell when we have a crash of 90%, like what we had in 2018. I didn't fold. I hold my hands, so I don't have any problems with that. I'm willing to go down with the ship. And with that type of mindset, cryptocurrency has been very nice to me. Okay. That said, taking those money that I made from a volatile asset and take it into a stable asset is always a nice thing, because it's like selling in calm waters. Okay, so that way I become a good sailor in dangerous waters, and I've also become a good sailor in calm water, so I can manage both, if that makes any sense. The next thing I'm going to do is invest in businesses, which means buy new businesses, okay, or invest in my own business that I already currently have, which I teach people about real estate at mrnofluff.com. All right, now a couple of type of businesses that I've also wanted to have just to chill, have a place to chill is a kebab house. I wanted to always have a kebab house where I love to eat Persian food, and I could go over there and I could chill and make money while working from my computer, because since high school I've only needed a computer and internet to make money. Okay, so it will have a cool place to chill versus like the coffee shop. So that's something that I'm going to be looking into, and on top of that, I'm probably going to reinvest my money into my own business. What am I going to put the money into my own business? Well, just in marketing, right? It's put money into marketing, because more money for marketing, more money for profits. Okay. And last but not least, I may get into stocks. Now, I say may because the probability is very low unless there is massive blood in the streets, because the stock market, in my opinion, is very manipulated, is very fake, and is very at the very bubbly. Bubbly. Bubbly is so bubbly that it's artificially bubbly. Okay, unless Tesla is selling for like $10 or $20 a share, probably not going to get into it unless again it's massacred. It's at 80%, 60% big dips in specific sectors that I'm looking for. For example, Tesla is one. AI technology, biotechnology, and those are some of the ideas that I would buy into if they were on a deep discount, like a deep discount. Okay, and so guys, to summarize it, I took my profits from Bitcoin and put them into a small portion into a banking account, fiat. The remaining portion I bought varsity coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoins. As those made profits, I took some and took it in fiat and some into what I call JV coins, like for myself, like uh, uh, Ava, Ren, REO. I forgot the name of it. The symbol of it. Where is it? Ren, REO. I think that's it. I got to go look at my list. There's so many coins that I own, guys. Okay, and as those make some profits, I'm gonna take that and exit into real world. And the real world, the first thing I'm going to get into is real estate because in my opinion, at this time, we're going to have a massive meltdown because that's why the price of cryptos are skyrocketing because, you know, the economy is crumbling in. You can see madness on the streets. You can see madness in the news. So, there's signs of problems in the economy. And there's a good sign of manipulation in the markets because they're derailed from what's reality. So there's going to be a really high probability, in my opinion, that real estate is going to be in massive trouble. And there's going to be a lot of motivated sellers where I can buy their home. And the seller is going to be my own private bank. Okay. Number two, and number three, and number four, as I explained already, my exit strategies, guys. All right. And some people will ask, well, Mike, how do you know when it's time to take profits for you? Okay. Well, everyone's different, and I'm not giving financial advice for other people, but for me, I made a decision when I bought. Okay. So when the market was down here in Bitcoin, I didn't buy, unfortunately. I wasn't smart enough, right? When the market went up like this, right, and it was $1,000 a Bitcoin, I start benchmarking the idea. Then the market shot up to almost 20K. All right, 19K, 20K, somewhere around there. Okay. All right. So at that time, I knew that when it starts crashing, that I'm going to start buying this coin after it got 50% because, I'm a real estate investor and I thought 50% is what I do with real estate. But I was pretty stupid because I didn't realize that Bitcoin crashes 80%, cryptos go 80% and even 90%. So I start buying at $11,000 all the way down to 3,500. Okay, and then it slowly went up. Okay, so I told myself that when I bought this from right here to right here, that I am going to exit at the very, very peak again. Because one thing I've learned and one thing I've studied is there's a high probability that if something hits something, like a number, like stock or cryptocurrency, this is a specific number, and then it has a crash, there's a good chance that it's going to go back to that spot. Now it may go below just a few bucks, or maybe go higher just a few bucks, but it will go very close to that or hit that number, and that's what I speculated on, and I was right. So when it hit that $20,000 or close to that $20,000, I start exiting some of my positionings. Okay, and when I exited, this is what happened. I went all the way here, and again, from there, we went here, we went there, etc. And start exiting some of my positioning. So my exit strategy was that when it hit 20, I'm going to get rid of some of my coins. And so what I did is I took 50% of my coins, or I can't remember if it was 50% or 30%, something around there. I think it was 30%. All right. And I sold it right around the very, very top that I thought. But then the market kept going up and up and up and up and up and up, right? And every time it went up at different positionings up the scale, I liquidated, right? But I always have my Bitcoin that I call for life huddle, right? So there's a certain amount of Bitcoin that I have that I'm just going to hold on and pass it to my kids, God willing, right? So that's the plan. That's the plan for me. Some of it I'm huddling forever. Other parts of it I am exiting it as the market went up, right? And then when the market came down again from like that 40 to 43 to like 30, I was once again taking some of those profits that I had, was now buying. I wasn't buying the dominant at this time. I was buying the varsity and junior because there's more risk with these assets versus the primary, but there's more returns. Okay, so that is my personal exit strategy. And one other thing that I forgot is I will take some of this profits and still do bicycle flipping because the percentage that I can get on bicycle flipping is so much more than most businesses that I've ever owned or seen. Friends or family that have very, very successful businesses, the percentage that they own get off their businesses is so much less than flipping bags. So I'm still going to be doing flipping bags. It's an amazing side hustle. It's the best side hustle that I know that only requires $100. It can give me 300, 500, 700%, even 100 or 200%, which is amazing in such a fast period of time, guys. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. Make sure you check out my website, download my free book on flipping homes at mrnofluff.com or at My Real Estate Dojo. Thanks so much. Much love.